What is up, Juicebox Army? How are you guys doing today? It is Juicetra, and I am joined by a good buddy of mine who, actually, I'm surprised we haven't done anything together in the past, and this is the first time I brought him on my channel. But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, good sir?
Well, I'm not sure that I should be honored to be here or a little bit embarrassed that it's been so long, but it's great to be here, man. As you know, and hopefully your subscribers do as well, my name is Eric, also known as Aviator, and it really is an honor to be here, man, truly.
Well, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was such a big deal. No. Am I that important? No, I'm just kidding, guys.
It means so much to me.
Yeah, we just wanted to come together and put a few videos together prior to Modern Warfare 3 dropping. We wanted to just and kind of shoot the shit for a bit, and today we're bringing you, I guess what I like to call Guidance Counselor Tuesdays. I don't know how frequently we're going to do this, but maybe this will turn into something we do on a weekly basis. But a lot of you guys will know that I've recently become an unemployed bum, and not to say that everybody's a bum, but I think I am a little bit of a bum now. But
let's be honest, how recently?
How recently? Well, officially, my last full working day was last Friday, which was the 29th of October. But I was in the office yesterday on Halloween, but it turned into more of like a shenanigan day. We went for lunch, we had cake in the boardroom, and then we went out for wine and drinks and stuff after. So it was a pretty easy day. I can't complain. But yeah, so the reason I want to talk about this with Eric, with my good buddy here, is because he's been doing that unemployed, I wouldn't say unemployed, but self-employed thing for a while now, and I figured he could shed some light, give me some pointers, and give you guys some pointers on how to be successful and how to not be live on the streets. So what do you got to say, bud?
Well, it's interesting. You and I have had lots of conversations. It's kind of worth saying we are now 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 54 seconds into our Skype call because for whatever reason, every time we get on the phone, we can't hang up, and it's kind of cute. But
it's a little, but I like it. It's good to have some homo love, with some guys. So
you gotta have it, man. You gotta have it. But as far as being successful without the standard way of being successful these days, which is go to school, get good grades, get a good job, go to a good college, or get a good job, etc. Kind of stepping outside of that, my family are all entrepreneurs, and from the 1920s on, my family's been working for themselves and basically scraping by in some way or another, making sure they made a living so they could feed their families. And so I was kind of raised with that perspective, and I've only had a few jobs in my life, and none of them for very long. I'm not very good at holding down a job because my whole concept was, I want to find something I can do myself and be good at it. And I've grown with that. I started when I was 8 years old shine shoes for my family. And for the restaurant my grandparents owned, I would go down there and shine shoes and give tours around the property. And, that was how I made a living at 8 years old. It wasn't a big living, but dadgummit, you find a way. Yeah. Obviously, you and I have talked a lot about it. You kind of quitting your job and moving forward with your life into what you really love, which is obviously gaming and the whole online space and being involved with your fans. And it's kind of a unique thing for you because you're walking away from a very nice job and a very nice lifestyle and kind of moving forward into something that's probably a little bit scary for someone in your position. And I don't know how that would feel.
Yeah. Well, let me first clear up what you just said there. I'm not leaving. I didn't leave my job to pursue this whole YouTube thing full time.
Right.
This is kind of just gonna keep me afloat until I find that next that career. Because I don't look at this YouTube thing for me as being something that I'm going to take on for the next 3 or 4 years and be really successful with it. Not to say that I don't think I can be successful.
I hope you are.
Yeah. But no, I've got my eye on some other industries but all related to entertainment and gaming and stuff. But I want to step back for a second and just ask you this, because you said something about your whole family wanting to be entrepreneurs. You're all very entrepreneurial. But a lot of people, I think, get scared of creating their own company, their own brand, because they think that they're going to fail. And I know, obviously, not everybody's going to fail. And to be successful, you have to believe in yourself, your product, your service, or whatever it is. So do you have any words of wisdom with regards to that? How do you go into it maybe not being so sure of what your service is, and then how do you tell yourself that, yes, I'm going to be successful at what I do?
Yeah, it's an interesting balance because my lifestyle has always been a bit different, and it's two-parted. One, you plan everything as well as possible. Before I started my YouTube, I planned out my first 80 videos. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew what I wanted them to look like. And mind you, I didn't follow my plan exactly to the letter, but I knew what I wanted to do. And that was important to me because if I don't plan ahead and know what I want to do basically, I'm just going to flounder around and never really have direction. And two is to look at the consequences of what would happen if you fail, and to realize that if you fail, it's not that big of a deal. I tell people I have failed my entire life. I have failed my way through life in sometimes epic manners, like really, really great things have happened through my failures, but at the same time, they're still failures. They're not what I had planned for exactly. You make X amount of money instead of Y amount of money. You make, whatever it is. And the simple fact of the matter is, you walk away from every one of these instances still alive most of the time.
Hopefully.
You walk away with your family still intact and with the things that you really care about. I mean, money is important, but taking care of those that you love and knowing that you're doing the right thing to help other people and everything else, if that's your real priority, then the consequences aren't that bad for failure. A lot of people are terrified of failure without really having any reason to be, because what's the worst that can happen when you fail? It really isn't as bad as you think, because if you fail right now, I finally got this in my head when I was about 17 years old. I had this realization moment where I walked away. I said, if I fail at anything, or if I have this girl turn me down, or if I have this business deal turn me down, whatever it was, will it matter in 10 years to me? Will it change where my life is at? Will I still be affected emotionally in 10 years? Mm-hmm. And 98% of those things were, well, no. I mean, it doesn't really matter in 10 years, so I quit worrying about it.
Yeah.
My life is much better for it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like, I think that's the key, is to realize that you have to fail in order to succeed. You're not always going to be 100% successful with everything you do. It's not everybody. Nobody's perfect.
Absolutely.
I mean, nobody is perfect. So I think if anything, and I know we don't want to pump you guys with too much that you're to process right now. So we're going to try to keep this as short as possible. But if there's one thing that you can take and walk away from this video, and our discussion, is that don't be afraid of failure. Failure is what makes you learn. It's how you learn. It's how you become successful. Unless you fail, you're not going to know what is right, what is wrong, what works, and what doesn't. So I think that's the big thing to take away from this.
It is, man. And as I tell people, it's like like anyone else, I've been through hard times in life. Everyone looks at, oh, your life is so great. At 19, I lost my first business. I broke my 29th bone. I lost the girl I loved. Everything in my life had fallen apart. And still, I'm now 6 years later, and it's like, I retired for the first time at 19 as well. So like all these things happened, but you walk away from it in a good position because you're willing to take a risk. And if you aren't willing to take a risk, man, you're screwing yourself over more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wow. I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. But retiring at 19, that's just crazy. That is something hard. I think that's something that everybody's going to have, trouble like picturing. How do you retire at 19?
Well, dude, here's how you do it.
Well, let's save that for another time.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do another one.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, thanks for joining us on, I guess, Guidance Counselor Tuesday. If you guys want to go check out Eric's channel, he's got a lot of great content up on his channel. Not only is gameplay and stuff, but he's an excellent and amazing photographer, and he does a lot of stuff, a lot of videos that are really engaging and really beautiful to watch. So go check his channel out. Like I said, link below and an annotation on the screen. But any final words?
Dude, thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to share how to retire at 19 next time. That's a good hook, right?
That's a good one. That is good. I think so. All right, guys. We'll catch you next time. Later.